Okay, so we are going to be looking at the various types of questions that are going to appear on this test. And the first, well, we didn't do it first, but normally what I would do is the graph part. So I've got up on the board there, we've got convert from dt to vt. And what'd you have next? Yeah, vt to dt. Anything else that we did with graphs?
Acceleration one, that's kind of easy.
Well, I would certainly expect you to, did anybody have something like match dt, vt, and at graphs? Did anybody have something like that? Where like I give you like one of the three and you have to pick which ones correspond to that? You know what I mean? Like for example, you know, there's the dt, there's the vt, yeah, the at is just at 0, right? That kind of thing, matching. Okay.
That's pretty accelerated.
What else would I expect to be able to do?
That's pretty accelerated. That's pretty wrong.
Is that wrong? Oh yeah, it is. It's not 0. You're right. Right, you are, Ken. Right? It'd be like that, wouldn't it, Steph? Yeah, you're right. Thank you. What else do with graphs? What about that displacement stuff? Where you have to find the displacement? But basically, I'm going to expect you to know just about everything about graphs.
Find like acceleration.
Yeah.
Average displacement. Velocity.
Basically, find v-ints to v-bar displacement,
V-bar, V-ints.
right? A-bar, A-inst from dt and vt graphs. Pretty much everything on that sheet where there's the two columns, right? Can you find the slope of a dt graph? Do you know what it means? Can you find the slope of a tangent line? Can you find the displacement? Anything else? That pretty much covers it all, I think, right? Okay. Okay. Next was it word problems? Was the next?
Yeah.
Okay. So word problems. What kind of category did Zoe give me one here that she came up with? Anything? This is a hard part. What kind of word problems?
I just like solving, like ones that are like solving for acceleration.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
And then there's like the jack catching bus.
Yes, the jack catching the bus. Okay. So hang on, let's deal with that. Let's go solving for D,
Basic crap.
A,
T, VI, VF.
T, yeah, VI, VF, and so on, right? Basically, Mary, any of those three new formulas that I gave you, right?
Yeah.
Right, okay. And probably you would not see more than about a 2 to 3 step kind of question in that regard. Okay? Very similar to the types of ones that we had on the quiz, right?
Yeah.
That 6 marks one. That's okay. Look at it. Could you do the quiz now?
Okay.
Well, maybe what you should do is cover up your answer and try again.
So will we have to do one that's like the jack chasing the bus one? Like
Jack catching the bus type. Okay, now Jack catching the bus can be, we can call that a category of problem, but in that there's actually 2 categories. There's the ones where Jack catches the bus, where you've got 2 things going in the same direction, and you're trying to figure out, do they meet? And then there's very similar, which was the Fred and Barney, I think, right?
Oh, and they're going towards each other.
Which is another subcategory of the same type of question where they're simply going toward each other. And really, they weren't any different at all, really, were they? Other than one was a subtract and one was an add. They're really the same. It's not really a different category. Right? But you got to remember that whole displacement equals something plus whatever that starting point is, right? That kind of thing? Okay. That's good. And under vectors, what can I ask you?
Who got there first?
Basic components. Right? Just a basic, what's the x, what's the y component? Right? So there could be just a straightforward adding, a straightforward subtraction. Right? Here's two vectors, add them together. Here's two vectors, subtract them. And then, of course, a word problem where you have to decide whether it's an add or subtract. Although I would likely have at least one add and at least one subtract.
How do we tell it?
Adding, you are asked for the resultant, right? You're asked for the resultant. In subtraction, you're being asked for one of the parts, like the boat speed or the current or the wind, right? You're asked for one of the parts. When you break it down like that, you know exactly what's going to be on this test, right? You do. Okay? This is a skill you guys need to do in the future too, is like, just stop, go through your notes. What are the kinds of things they're going to ask, right? And then categorize your cheat sheet so you got the stuff you need on there, and then away you go, right? 100% for everybody.
Yeah.
Is that not really the goal, 100% for everybody?
Yeah.
It really is. Sure it is. Okay. I have a little component